Hey, I'm Mark from Performance Bicycle, and today I'm going to show you how to bleed Shimano Deore XT hydraulic disc brakes. The reason you'll most likely want to bleed your brakes is if you shorten the hose, if you do a complete hose replacement, or if you just want to do annual maintenance on your brakes. The tools you're going to need for this job are the Shimano bleed kit with funnel, Shimano hydraulic mineral oil, bleed block, 7mm box wrench, 2.5, 3, 4, and 5mm Allen wrenches, isopropyl alcohol, a clean rag, and some sort of a strap, a velcro strap or a toe strap will work. All right, the first step you want to do is you want to adjust the lever all the way out, and you want to adjust the free stroke all the way in. To adjust the lever, use the tool-free adjustment and just turn it clockwise, counting the turns so you can reset it to its original position until it's as far away from the bar as it'll go. Then you want to adjust the free stroke all the way in by turning it clockwise. The next thing you're going to want to do is remove the brake pads from the brake caliper. To do that, you want to remove the C-clip from the brake pad axle first, and then use a 3mm Allen wrench to remove the brake pad axle. Remove the brake pad axle, then just grab the pads at the top, slide them out of the caliper, and set them aside. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do is push the pistons in flush with the caliper body. To do that, just take a flat spanner, slide it through the caliper, and then evenly push the piston in flush. You want to do that for both sides. Okay, once you've pushed the pistons in flush with the caliper, you want to slide the bleed block in between the pistons and use the brake pad axle to hold it in place. Now we're going to move up to the brake lever. You're going to want to position the brake lever at a 45-degree angle to the ground. So loosen it slightly, get it where it needs to be, and then just snug it up. Then you're going to want to remove the bleed screw from the top of the brake lever. That's a 2.5mm Allen wrench. Just unthread that and make sure you get the O-ring with it when you take it off. And then you're going to thread the bleed funnel into there where the bleed screw came out of. Just get it finger tight and then add a little mineral oil to the bleed funnel. Okay, then you're going to want to remove the brake caliper from the framer fork. So just unthread the mounting bolts. Take off the caliper. Set the bolts and the adapter to the side. You're going to want the caliper to hang straight down from the lever, giving it the most direct line for fluid and any air bubbles to pass through the system. Then you're going to take the bleed syringe and fill it with mineral oil. Just slide the tube in there. About half full is fine, and you're going to want to also remove any air. So if you hold it upright and just kind of push it slowly, you'll get all the air out of the syringe. Once all the air is out, you're ready to attach the syringe to the brake caliper. Once you've got the syringe filled with oil, you're going to want to go to the caliper and remove the cap from the bleed nipple. It's a rubber cap. Just pop it off and set it aside. Take your 7mm box wrench, slide it over the bleed nipple, and then you're going to want to attach the syringe to the end of the bleed nipple. Okay, when the syringe is attached to the bleed nipple, you're going to want to take the 7mm box wrench and loosen the bleed nipple an 1/8 turn, and then start pushing fluid through slowly with the syringe. As you're pushing fluid through the system, check the funnel to see air bubbles coming up through. Okay, once you no longer see bubbles coming up through the funnel, go ahead and close the bleed nipple and remove the syringe from it. The next step is to take the tube with the oil collecting bag and attach it to the bleed nipple. Then you're going to want to go up to the funnel and add some fluid. About 1/3 full should be sufficient. You don't want it to get so low that it's able to pull air into the system. And once you have the fluid in there, go back to the bleed nipple, loosen it an 1/8 turn again, and then pump the brake lever a couple of times to start the oil flowing through the system. You'll see it start coming through with small bubbles. Take the wrench and just kind of tap the brake hose and tap the caliper. That'll break loose any small bubbles that are kind of sitting in there. Once you're getting just consistent fluid coming through with no bubbles, go ahead and close the bleed nipple again. Check the funnel to make sure it still has sufficient mineral oil in it and add a little bit if necessary. Again, you don't want it to get so low that air can get in. And then you're going to secure the brake lever with a Velcro strap or a toe clip strap. Just pull the lever in and loop the strap around and put some pressure on the brake lever. That'll hold it in place. Then you're going to take your 7mm box wrench again and go back down to the bleed nipple and open and close it several times in quick succession. And while that lever is strapped, it'll force the last bit of fluid and air bubbles, if there are any, out. It looks pretty clean. So just go ahead and close that bleed nipple securely. Pull the tube with the oil collecting bag off of it. And then you're going to want to replace that rubber bleed nipple cap on the end of the bleed nipple to keep dirt and other debris out of there. Okay, then you can go ahead and remove the strap from the brake lever. Okay, so now you just want to squeeze the brake lever, and as the last of the air bubbles come out, you'll feel the lever start to stiffen up and get more firm. For this step, you're going to want to take the brake lever, loosen it up slightly so you can rotate it on the handlebar, and you're going to want to rotate it up about 30 degrees. Squeeze the lever to get any remaining air bubbles out. They tend to get trapped in the reservoir up here, so this kind of gets the last bit of them out. Rotate the lever down 30 degrees, squeeze it while checking for air bubbles, and just repeat that back and forth until you don't see any more air bubbles coming out. So you're going to want to place the brake lever in a horizontal position here so that the fluid in the funnel is level. And then take the stopper, plug up that funnel. Then you can unthread it from the lever and set it aside. Top off the fluid in the bleed port. Probably just need a drop there. And then replace the bleed screw and O-ring with a 2.5mm Allen wrench. You get just a little bit of fluid overflow in here. That's fine. This means it's nice and full. Tighten it securely to spec. Take your clean rag and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and clean any fluid off the brake lever. So once you've wiped the lever off, just go ahead and return the brake lever to its original position on the handlebar and tighten it securely. Okay, so now we're going back to the caliper. We're going to remove this, remove the bleed block. Go ahead and get your rag and your alcohol and clean the brake caliper off so the pads don't get contaminated. Then you're going to want to reattach the caliper to the framer fork. You're going to want to leave the caliper a little loose so you can center it over the rotor once the wheel's installed. And then just go ahead and replace the brake pads. Slide the pad axle through, tighten it securely, and then reinstall the C-clip on the back side of the pad axle. Okay, so now you want to reinstall your wheel. Squeeze the brake lever a few times to center the pads, and then squeeze and hold the brake lever while tightening the caliper mounting bolts to center the caliper over the rotor. And you're ready to go. And that's how you bleed Shimano Deore XT disc brakes. If you follow these steps, it's a real breeze. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact our Spin Doctor Tech line or stop by a local performance store and see one of the Spin Doctor techs there. Thanks and have a great ride.